Gary Gregg reporting to you high atop a granite cliff right here in the Tule River watershed, which is east of Porterville. It's the Southern Sierra. It's pretty much like right where the Sierra turns into Mojave. So it's a mixture of desert land plants and California native plants you'd find typically in the Sierra. Now, one of the really neat things about this part of the world is the fact that we have these very exotic looking yuccas. This is Yucca whipplei. It's now known as Hesperalo. They keep changing names just so that you know, the old guys look dumb because they don't know the real names of the stuff, the current name. And you can see it right next to a big hunk of manzanita. This is obviously a fire hazardous area, and you can see there was a burn here. There's a lot of trees that have been burned in a recent burn. Real droughty area here. There's not a lot of water, but you can see the remnants of a bloom on this Hesperalo Yucca whipplei just above us here. Now, the common name is Our Lord's Candle because missionaries that would walk through here would see these up on the hill blooming in vivid white against the blue sky, and they would think that it would look like their Lord holding a candle for them. So I actually grow this plant in Lafayette at my house. It's a very cool plant. It's variable in form. It ranges all through the Southern California mountains, even down into Mexico. And the interesting thing is it ranges up both the coastal mountains all the way up to Monterey County in the mountains. Right when they dip down to the Salinas Valley flat, the plant stops its northward migration. And it's my theory that the soil type is just not right across that valley, that alluvial mud flat. It doesn't want to deal with that, so it stops. So it doesn't cross into the Santa Cruz Mountains. It's a wonderful plant to use, and everybody says, oh, you don't want to use exotic looking plants because it won't evoke a native California feel. Well, this is about as exotic looking as you can get. And so I often use these to punctuate my landscapes. And you can see it's a beautiful silvery green. Now, it's variable in color depending upon the population that you're talking about. And this population here is pretty darn silvery, bluish silvery. However, I've seen even more silvery than this. And you've got lots of different life cycles here of the plant. You can see even like the debris that falls down is really kind of beautiful in its own right. You know, it's artistic looking. Now what I do after these things bloom is I leave the dead flower stalk up in the air because I think it's a really beautiful artistic thing. And more importantly, the birds love it. So it'll bloom, it'll fruit. You can see the fruit on that plant way up there. We're gonna zoom on that. Those are gonna be the seed structures that will help to replicate the plant in the future. And then you've got this one that bloomed earlier, and then here's a baby over here. Now it looks like this population here is suckering, and some of these will sucker heavily, some will sucker a little, some will sucker off and on, and others won't sucker at all. It just depends on the population. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a suckering population because there's a cluster right up there with multiple heads. And you can see it's so small that there's no way that, well, I guess there's a possibility that a bunch of seeds land in that crack and those are individual plants, but I think that's probably one plant. You can see, looks like a cool, almost like a Disneyland exhibit, you know, with all these broken down pieces. But so the reason I'm here is not so much for the yuccas as it is more such for the waterfalls and the swimming hole hopping. Look at this beautiful shot. Look at this. Can't beat that, right? Look at that. That's where I'm going to end up here in a second. Jumping into that river. But yeah, so sometimes I'll sell these plants out of the nursery. They don't use any water whatsoever. Maybe a little bit to establish it, and that's it. You can see this plant doesn't have any water at all until the rains come, like 4 or 5 months from now. Right now it's August. It's probably been dry for 3 months already. It's going right on top of the rock. So there you go, beautiful, exotic looking California native plant. It should be widely used, and it's really not. It's not used at all. You can see how it just punctuates the rocks going up the slope here. It's just so beautiful. And yeah, so I think now it's time to get down to business here and do what I came here to do, and that is to get wet. Yeah, here we go. Hopefully we'll find some big cliffs. It's not a big cliff to jump off. I can't impress you with that. But there is a fun little dive I can do. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Woo! Okay, let's go and do this thing we were talking about. Right over here. I believe I could survive this one. Not too severe. I think I could just launch right off of here, right into that waterfall. Let's see what I can do. First, I gotta get naked. Woo! Uno, dos,